Hi, I'm Tawana Smith, former professional basketball player and creator of the Surviving the Lights athlete coaching system. Over the past few months, as I have promoted the release and launch of this coaching system, which is now available nationwide, I have received tons of inbox messages and questions and feedback from parents who are looking for the answers to helping their child get recruited, get exposure, and ultimately earn a scholarship to play sports at the collegiate level. So you asked and I'm answering. And so thank you for joining me on this free training tonight. It is free. The three pieces that you need to solve the recruiting puzzle 2.0. Right? I promise not to keep you long, but I really, really want to share some of this information with you on your recruiting journey. Okay. Now, if you stay until the end, I have a free, did I say free, exclusive gift that I want to share with you. All right. But before we get to the fun stuff, we've got some very important information as a business to handle. All right. So I'm going to need your attention for the next 20 minutes. I need you to turn off your cell phones. I need you to turn off Facebook because if you're serious about being recruited and helping your child gain more exposure on their way to a scholarship opportunity, then the next 20 minutes will change your life. All right. So just give me your full attention for just a few moments. All right. Now, anytime I meet with a client, and I do work with professional athletes and I mentor hundreds of young student athletes, I always think it's important for them to source the source. And so I want to tell you a little bit about myself so that you understand why you should listen to what I'm going to teach you on tonight. Okay. I am a former Division I athlete, and I went on to play professionally in basketball. I invested a lot of time, I invested a lot of money to learn these strategies that I'm going to teach to you tonight. My parents put in a lot of time and money along this process. Over the last 10 years, I've mentored other young athletes on how they can pursue a collegiate scholarship as well. All right, so I'm not telling you something I heard about. I'm teaching you something I've personally experienced and that I've helped other young athletes experience as well. From some of the camps and clinics and other public events that I've hosted, and personally advising young athletes and parents on how they can get to the next level without going broke, I think that you'll find these strategies very helpful. To date, I have helped over 100 high school athletes go on to pursue a collegiate scholarship, which I think is incredible. I'm also a parent. I have a 3-year-old son, 7-month-old daughter, and so my kids are watching yours. And so it's important for us to get it right so that we can help today's young athletes as well as those of the future. All right, so I have a different sense of urgency as a parent, and I understand your plight. Right now, the results, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Over the 100 athletes that I have mentored, I have helped athletes get to the Division I level on scholarship, Division II, Division III, junior college, and some of these young athletes are playing professional sports right now. Right, so there are a lot of opportunities available to continue that sports journey and to go on and do great things through the game of basketball or football or another sport. And tonight, I'm going to tell you the secret to getting to this next level. Right now, the results aren't typical. Right, there are over 8 million high school athletes, so everybody's not going to get a scholarship. Right, but if you work this process, if you take advantage of these strategies that I'm about to share with you, you will make sure that you will give yourself the best opportunity to earn one of those open roster spots at the collegiate level. All right, so just to give you an overview of what we'll cover tonight, the 3 pieces that you'll need if you're going to solve this whole recruiting puzzle, the first one is the player readiness. Right, and this is very important. These are the things that are in your control. The second piece are the coaching strategy. I think it's important that you learn how to think like a coach so that you can understand how you must position your student athlete to be seen by a college coach. And then last but not least, you got to have a location game plan. All right. The last statistics I saw, parents are spending an average of $2,500 every single summer. Right, trying to get exposure to college coaches and scouts in hopes of getting a scholarship offer. all right? You don't have to spend all that money if you knew these strategies and tips. And so I want you to work smarter and not harder. So let's get into the good stuff, okay? All right, the first piece to this entire recruiting puzzle is player readiness, all right? There are some very important things that your athlete must do if they're going to catch a coach's eye. Ultimately, you must be ready, right, to play at the next level. You're competing with other athletes on your team and in on other teams in other areas. And so it's important that you put yourself in the best possible position to show that coach that you are the one that they must choose if they are going to fill their roster, right? Now, there are some components to this player readiness. And again, the great majority of these things are in your control or in your athlete's control. First and foremost, I want to talk about talent, right? Make no mistake, you are pursuing an athletic scholarship. So your talent is absolutely important, okay? Coaches want to see those that outperform their peers or at a minimum perform in a position and at a level that translates well to college, right? You don't have to already be there and already have it together, but it's important for you to have some type of athletic ability. And I know a lot of parents will invest in trainers for their athletes to help them improve their skill level and skill development, right? So talent is very important to earning a scholarship. Next is academics, right? This is one that sometimes fall between the cracks. Many of my friends are college coaches and scouts, and so I know firsthand what they look for when they're evaluating prospects. One of the first questions that they usually ask is, I see that you've got a player that can play and they're talented. Are they a qualifier? All right. What that means is they are interested in knowing if your child has met the appropriate academic criteria to be admitted into college, right? It makes no sense for us to talk about earning a scholarship if your athlete can't get into college, right? So there are GPA criteria based on their ACT scores and, other courses, they call them core courses that they must take to make sure they're on pace to graduating on time and with the appropriate credits to be admitted into college, right? So that's an important thing that you can check on right now as you're evaluating your child's readiness for college, okay? Another area of player readiness is maturity, okay? Many times a coach will sit across from your athlete's bench because they want to see them in action. They want to watch how they respond when they aren't in the game, right? How do they respond to coaching? How do they respond to their teammates making mistakes? All of those are important indicators of their maturity level for the collegiate level because things will get tougher, right? At high school, your child may be the best player on the team. But how will they respond if everything doesn't go their way or they don't have everything catered to them at the next level, right? And it's important because that coach's job is not to raise your child, right? It is to coach them in their particular sport. So maturity level is important. And this is something that, coaches also look at social media to assess a child's maturity level. Every year we see college coaches that will come out and publicize the fact that they have changed their mind and they've taken back a scholarship offer from a player who was talented, who had their academics, but they weren't mature enough to fit into that program, right? So make sure that's something that, you are on your athlete about. That maturity level is very important because a lot of times that immaturity can cost a college coach their job and many of them aren't willing to take that risk, right? So an important part of player readiness is maturity, right? Let's also touch on potential. Right. Earlier, I talked about being very talented, and there's some players who maybe have a growth spurt, or maybe their body is a little awkward or out of place at the high school level, but it makes them perfect for the collegiate level. Right? Make sure that you encourage your young athlete if this is the case, that they may not be able to see the benefits right now, but when a college coach is interested in them and they're evaluating them, their potential becomes very important and will actually put them ahead of a more talented player right now because it translates well to the collegiate level. All right. And then last but not least, family. right? Parents, a lot of times these coaches are looking at you and they're evaluating you and how you interact with your child and the coach and the officials at a lot of these events to determine if they want the hassle of dealing with your child. Okay. If you're screaming at the coach at the high school level, they think you'll probably scream at them at the collegiate level, all right? So keep that in mind when you're caught in the moment, your passion and energy for cheering your child on. That coach is assessing you just as they're assessing your athlete when they are determining who's the best fit for their program on scholarship. All right, so player readiness is very important. All right, I want you to stop thinking like a statistic. There are a lot of young athletes and parents that are in your position right now, and many of them are just going through the motions. And 20% of those high school athletes will find that they're ineligible to get to the next level because they have not handled their business academically to be admitted into college, right? And then there are thousands of others who are very talented. They invest a lot of time and money and energy into hiring trainers and playing a lot of games, only to find that from a maturity standpoint, they're not ready to compete at the collegiate level and they have to redshirt. Right? So I want you to put this all together and understand that you have to be the total package if you're going to put yourself in the best position to be recruited and to earn a scholarship. Okay? All right? That's the first piece. Very, very important, player readiness. Right? Second piece to solving the recruiting puzzle is the coach's strategy. All right? Coaches use different strategies and thought processes when they're looking for the appropriate players to add to their roster and to offer scholarship opportunities too, right? You know, note this, you can be the greatest player ever. You can be the total package, but if you aren't what that particular coach is looking for, you're not going to get a scholarship offer. Right? There are different levels to college sports, and each level has a different type of player that they pursue, right? And so it's important for you to understand and be realistic with the level that's appropriate for your child, your athlete, so that you can show that coach what they're looking for. Stand out from the crowd and put yourself in the best position to earn a scholarship, all right? Now, if you're with me and you're enjoying this training so far, I need you to type "get recruited" in the chat, all right? Just type something really quick so that I know that you're with me and we'll keep it moving. All right. Back to coach's strategy, right? Coaches look for certain things in the players that they recruit, and you just heard me talk about some of the player readiness criteria that your athletes should meet in general, right? You should know that coaches evaluate you not just based on your peers, the people on your team, the people in your conference, your division, or in your state. They're evaluating you, you know, compared to players all across the country, right? Again, there are different levels, there are different types of institutions, and it's important for you to understand that they are looking for the best fit that's for someone to fill the roster spots, to help them win ball games, and to help them keep their jobs, okay? If you think of it in those terms, I think it will help you understand that it's not personal at all. Your child very well may be talented, but if they're not a good fit for what the coach is looking for and what their team needs, you know, then they're not gonna get a scholarship offer, right? I saw a coach do a Facebook Live here recently where they talked about, you know, players that are just average, you know, on the court or on the field, but they show incredible leadership, right? And maybe that is the one thing that coach is looking to add to their locker room, right, to their roster, right? So it's important for you to understand you're trying to put your best foot forward. It's not all about talent. You do need to be the total package, but you also need to be what that coach is looking for. Otherwise, you'll either be underqualified or overqualified for the job. Right. Another thing I think is important for parents to understand when they're thinking like a coach and understanding coaching strategy when they're trying to position their athlete for a scholarship offer is that a coach communicates with you in other ways than words, right? There's signs that they'll send you to show that they are interested in your athlete. Right? They can communicate with you in a lot of different ways based on the NCAA rules. They can call you, they can text you, they can communicate via social media, they can write you letters, they can even meet you in person. And usually the more intimate forms of communication means that they're a little bit more serious about you than just sending you a form letter that they send thousands of young athletes, you know, every day. Okay. So understand that, coaching strategy is a very important part of this piece to this puzzle, and you need to understand how they think if you're going to help your athlete be exactly what they're looking for. Right. Now, I want you to think about something that will help you understand this concept. Would you hire your child right now and pay them a portion of your salary to do your job? Think about it. You know your child better than anyone else. Right? You would only do that if you felt that they were capable of helping you do your job and meet your goals. Right? They can make your job easier. And it's the same way with coaches. Right? Again, they can be a great player. They can be ready for college. But if they aren't what they're looking for and can't help them meet their immediate goals a lot of times, because they're under a lot of pressure, right? Then your child will not get that scholarship offer, okay? All right? Now you do know that this is chess, not checkers. And if you're still with me, I need you to type checkmate in the chat, all right? Checkmate. Right? It's all about strategy and understanding all of these pieces and not being so emotionally attached to your baby that you lose sight of the big picture of the person that's making the decision about the scholarship offer. Right? Then the third piece to this, solving this whole recruiting puzzle, you've got a talented athlete that's met all the criteria for college and they're ready. You understand how a coach thinks and your child is exactly what they're looking for. Now you need to know where you need to position them for exposure. This is the $1 million question, literally, all right? Because who cares if you have a talented athlete if no one sees them, right? This exposure question is one that I get quite often. And, like I said earlier, parents are spending on average $2,500 every summer to send their child to these camps and clinics and tournaments. And you have no idea if they are effective. Right? So the third piece to this puzzle that I want to cover, and again, all pieces, have to fit together, is your location game plan. All right. I oftentimes tell my pro athlete clients that the off season is the most important season that you're going to play. And so it's important for you to have a game play appearance on what's going to happen. It's not a personal one because this coach or someone from your neighborhood is throwing a team together. It's strategic. Right? Remember, this is chess, and you need to do all that you can in positioning your child to be seen by coaches. Okay. Now, you have two options for gaining exposure. One is in the digital space. Right? You can use social media to post links to Huddle and other platforms that will allow you to post like YouTube game footage and things like that. And that's easy to distribute digitally. I think that it's very, very easy in today's world of tech savvy teens to put together a marketing packet, right, that you can send directly to college coaches. That marketing package should include your child's headshot, their basic information, height, weight, position, email, their school, their classification. It should include stats, from their previous year. And it should include any achievements, awards, accolades, and most importantly, links to game film. Right? And you can upload some of those things onto YouTube, right? That is an easy way to get exposure and to get your child's information in the hands of decision makers and college coaches and scouts and individuals that can put them on the map to be evaluated and recruited by college coaches, right? All right, the digital space makes that a lot easier, right? Now, in my coaching system, I covered this and some of the different elements on what that footage, that game footage and highlight film should look like. You want to be able to stand out from the crowd. And so having something professionally done and that's very powerful is very important, right? When you're gaining exposure, right? As I said earlier, coaches most likely, however they get you on their radar, if it's by an email submission, maybe they saw you on social media, they will want to see you in person, right? So either they'll come see you or they'll send a member of their staff, and they want to see you compete, live. In those cases, maybe they also will want to meet with you and your coach after the game. They may come into your home, to speak further if they're impressed by what they see. But there are some different strategies that you can implement that will make sure you're getting the max exposure from coaches who want to see you in person. I have created this question list and this criteria list from choosing some of the AAU and other summer teams that your child can compete on, right? Every request that you get is not one to say yes and to feel flattered about, because there's some questions you need to ask about the coach and about the team and the schedule to ensure that your child is in fact getting exposure and they're not just playing a lot of games and having fun with their friends at your expense. Okay. There are some questions that you need to ask of the tournaments and the events to ensure, again, that you're getting exposure. There's some information about how coaches set their recruiting calendar, and the places that they're going to visit, as they're looking for players. Okay. And there's some important sources from, the NCAA recruiting calendar. They have an official calendar that houses a list of NCAA certified events that require approval. And many times coaches will use this to set their base schedule, their travel schedule for the off season. Right? It's important for you to know that so that you can check some of the events against that calendar. So that's some good information and some strategy that's included in the coaching system, and that will make your location game plan strategy a lot easier to formulate and a lot less expensive. Right? So that's the third very important piece to this puzzle. Is figuring out where you need to be to gain exposure. Right? Let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying this free training so far? Right. Usually when I host this training, I get a lot of great feedback from parents who didn't know a lot of this information. Sometimes as a former player, we feel like this information is commonplace, but there are many of you who are searching for answers, that just didn't know. Right. So far we've covered what you should do, right, or what your athlete should do if they're going to catch a coach's eye, the strategies that college coaches use to find you, and where you should position your athlete if they're going to get the most exposure they can to college coaches to be evaluated. Right? Now, who wants to take things to the next level? Right? If you are, you can type "I'm ready" in the chat. Now, I have one more secret, right, to add to those three pieces. This is the biggest tip that I can offer you. Find a mentor. Right? I am a firm believer in mentorship. Find someone that's been there and they've done it already and they've helped other people do it too. Right? You can't be afraid to ask for help. You can't be afraid to invest in yourself. And if you don't know the answers, invest in the resources, that will give you the answers that you need. Every parent I've worked with to date will tell you that they've gotten more scholarship offers, they've saved money, or their child has been better prepared for the next level by following these strategies that I've put in place and that I've included in this coaching system. All right. Now, my plea to you is to stop wasting time trying to put all these pieces together and start trying to invest in and buy the proven knowledge. There are no do-overs in sports, and your child will tell you that. When that buzzer sounds, it's over, right? And a lot of times you only get one shot to do it right, okay? Because even knowing this information, I'm sure you probably still have questions about specifically what your athlete needs to get to the next level. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about this coaching system, Surviving the Lights Athlete Coaching System. It is a one-of-a-kind coaching system. There's nothing else like this available from a former professional athlete to tell other athletes and coach them on how to get to the next level as well, right? So what you get is a personalized coaching system to your level, all right? And it's for high school athletes attempting to earn a collegiate scholarship. You get access to different resources like timelines, checklists, and even questions lists that will help you in various situations. What I found is a lot of times you have questions that you don't want to ask, or you don't know the questions to ask, right? You feel a little uneasy, but you don't even know where to start in trying to get information, right? And so that's why I've created these questions and checklists for you to guide you in various situations. Right? You'll get access to a private Facebook group. Right? Now, this is very important because having a support group of individuals going through the same thing that can share their experiences is extremely important. Okay? You'll also get graduation access to the next level. This is my favorite part. So this system has levels for high school, college, and pros. And as your child graduates through each of those levels in real life, they get an opportunity to graduate through the system and learn what they need to know to prepare for the next level, right? That's very, very important. You'll get guidance and advice from college coaches who will be able to drop very, very valuable gems of information and strategy to help you along your journey. You'll get announcements of important college dates, whether these are ACT opportunities or important college readiness events. And a lot of them, can very well be close to your area, but it's important to have these reminders about what's going on in your child's academic and athletic lives. Right. You'll also get access to new content. All right. So this isn't a static product. I have information that we will continue to update each month. Right. So you'll get new videos added to your library about different topics. You will get the option to have personal coaching from me and my team, who's a collection of former athletes who can tell you exactly how to get where you're trying to go. And last but not least, you'll get a signed copy of Surviving the Lights, which is my best-selling book. It's available on Amazon, but you'll get a free copy with your investment in the system, signed by me, that will prepare you for the highest level of sports and ultimately for success in life. Okay? Now, the value of all of these things is $2,997. Okay. Right. You cannot know this information and pay for college, and I guarantee you're still going to pay a lot more than that. Right? But I'm not going to charge you $2,997 for this coaching system. I want to make it available to you for $499, and that's a one-time payment. Right? Everything I just talked about over the last 3 slides will be yours as a part of this coaching system, preparing you for the next level and teaching you exactly what you need to know when you need to know it. Right? I want to educate you, empower you, and elevate the game. Right? $499, one-time payment. Okay? Because if you're not already doing the things that we've gone over in this training, I know that you would agree that investing in this one-of-a-kind coaching system, right, is the next step for you. Right? If you are ready to take things to the next level and you're ready to get your child positioned for exposure, recruitment, and ultimately being offered a scholarship to play collegiate sports, I need you right now to visit www.survivingthelights.com. Choose the high school level, walk through the prompts so you can gain access right now to this one-of-a-kind coaching system. I guarantee you that it will change your life. I have already received tremendous feedback since this coaching system has launched from parents who have saved money, and they just feel so much better about knowing what to do along this process, questions to ask that they didn't even know with older children that they have that have gone through the process, right? So survivingthelights.com, go there, choose the high school level, and make sure you gain access right now. Now, for those of you who stuck around, waited to the end, right, I do have a free gift for you. I want you to send me an email right now, info@survivingthelights.com, with the subject line, I'm surviving. And I want to give you a free copy of my ebook, Surviving the Lights. Again, this was a bestseller on Amazon, and I'll get you a free ebook copy just for sticking around with me to the end, right? So there you have it, the 3 pieces you need to solve the recruiting puzzle. I hope I've said something to help you, and I hope that I've inspired you to take charge of this recruiting process, right? Visit www.survivingthelights.com so that you can gain access to this coaching system and have a great, great evening. All right, good luck to you on your sports journey.